Native American. And 0% Native American. And 0% who were Native American.
We're gonna have to tell the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma now. I misrepresented myself. I'm not Choctaw at all, you know.
And you'll see there's no figure for Native American because you ain't got no Native American.
Set the record straight.
Even Don Cheadle, who we would expect to have some Native American ancestry because of the connection to the Chickasaw, members of your family owned by Native Americans. But we don't find any.
Wow.
And you're not alone in not having any measurable Native American ancestry. 1 in about every 20 African Americans only 1 in 20 has any significant amount of Native American ancestry.
So apocryphal. Yeah. Yeah. No. Turns out they didn't really dig you that much.
Chief High Priest Kazak. Mike. Rock.
Trace your family lineage on your father's side. If you happen to be one of us, welcome you. If you're not, we'll see you in captivity. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.
Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter, the 20th verse. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
Right. Now, when Gad was born to Leah, there was a troop coming, marching through. So you had a thing, and Gabar always uses this term, omen nomen. You name your child after a certain event. So she saw it as.
So what does that tell you? You're going to have Israelites coming out of every nation, including the nation of Edom, Esau. Right? So if they're coming out of the nation of Edom, Esau, what are they going to look like? Edomites, Esau. But that doesn't mean that they're Edomites or Esau. They're Israelites that look like Edomites. You know? If you have Israelites scattered among the East Indians, you're going to have. He's going to look like what? Like an East Indian, Elamite. When thou art in tribulation and all these things are come upon thee, if you go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it tells you what's going to come upon you. The curses, all right? Which Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, was given to who? The Israelites. It wasn't given to the other nations.
trypanosomiasis, sleeping sickness. Adult flies measure from 6 to 14 millimeters in length and are found only in tropical Africa. Their habitats range from rainforest.
Tsetse flies are a serious threat to the peoples of Africa and their domestic animals. They transmit the trypanosomes that cause sleeping sickness in man, and debilitating, killing diseases of cattle, horses, and camels. Trypanosomes are microscopic blood parasites transmitted from one host to another by tsetse flies when they feed on the blood of infected animals, including man. Ever since the diseases caused by trypanosomes were recognized at the turn of this century, many methods have been tried to control the spread of the disease. Until a few years ago, large areas of vegetation that formed the habitat of the tsetse fly were cleared. Fences were built to keep cattle away from the wild animals that act as reservoir hosts of trypanosomes.
Human African trypanosomiasis is also known as sleeping sickness. There were 7,200 cases of the disease reported in 2010. However, the World Health Organization considers this to be only a fraction of the real number of individuals infected, putting the number at closer to 30,000 cases each year. Sleeping sickness is found mainly in remote sub-Saharan areas, with the Democratic Republic of Congo recording 74% of all cases.
Art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. Even in the latter days. What time period are we in now? We're in the latter days. If thou turn to the Lord thy power, which is what we're doing, we're turning to the Lord thy power,
the team goes to remote villages to offer screening and treatment to people suffering
for the
from
Lord,
the disease.
the Lord thy power is a merciful power. He will not forsake thee, and that's true. The Most High has not forsaken us, and He's given us the understanding of His word. Neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which He sware unto them. And all you got to do is go in the fourth chapter of Deuteronomy and just keep reading. But I'll stop here at the 31st verse.
There is some suggestion in many reports that that person was a diamond smuggler who came across the border into Zaire from neighboring Angola. Medical researchers say that because the initial spread of the virus was
this is in the book of Chronicles, First Chronicles, 16th chapter.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys out there that
the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Minister of Health declared officially the Ebola outbreak on the 17th August 2012. The situation now, we have the cumulative number of patients is 15 with 10 deaths, which means a mortality rate of 66%. And the focus of this outbreak is in Isiro, province oriental in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Do you think it will spread?
Yes, this has the potentiality to spread because it is favored by the contact.
There's been an outbreak of the deadly Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo. 9 people are dead already. There are another 2 more probable cases. It's all happening in Isiro in the north of the country. Officials are saying this strain is different from the one that killed 16 people in Uganda last month. Let's get more on this from
How does one determine the extent of this kind of an outbreak? How do you know what the chain of transmission is? In other words, how did it begin and how can you stem it from being a further contagion?
Well, that's a very good question. That's exactly what your reporter from Nairobi was referring to. Is at the moment the Ministry of Health of Uganda, supported by WHO and CDC, is sending a team on how sick.
though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of heaven. Now who does that fit? There's your Latin tribes right there. The uttermost part of heaven is where? North America and South America.
Yep.
That's the uttermost part of heaven. That right there proves that those Latin tribes are part of the nation of Israel.
Right.
They were scattered unto the uttermost part of heaven. Where's the uttermost part of heaven? You that don't want to accept that the Latin tribes are part of the nation of Israel, where's the uttermost part of heaven? You tell us. All right? The uttermost part of heaven is North America and South America.
That's right.
And if you can't tell us, then you ain't got no business speaking, man. You ain't got no business talking. All right? You don't want to accept that the tribe of